To educate is my desire, and to that duty I am bound. Your minds are there to be inspired, to open your eyes to the world around.
You can't let them see the chaos his advice cause.
Take my advice and you'll be glad that you do. And you know what doesn't kill you's only gonna make you stronger. If it turns out wrong, then it won't matter much longer. Tomorrow you'll be better than you are today.
Hey, hey, hey!
Hey, hey, hey! Let me hear ya!
Hey, hey!
Woo! Hey, hey, hey! I've got plenty more advice. All you need to do is ask. So next time you feel lost, just pop into my class. And that is my advice to you. My advice to you.
You acid around your
Bring around my face.
It's gone.
What are you doing?
That is not paid for by them. That is paid for by the people of Detroit.
You might be qualified, ML.
I'm not qualified for this job.
Let me tell you something. You want to go right now? Okay? You want to go right now, Al?
Hey kids, happy holidays. We hope your Christmas, your Hanukkah was great, and your Kwanzaa is going to be fantastic. We have been celebrating the season, and we know that this is a time when you're thinking about resolutions and doing things better. And so one way that we learn is from others' mistakes. And this is a special advice episode of ML's Soul of Detroit. I'm ML Elric, and I'm encouraging you to ask the soul for what you should do. And we're going to, this week, feature some these are real questions submitted to advice columnists. They have a lot of experience with this. Some of them have some special training, but who the hell are they compared to the wisdom accumulated
of Shawn Windsor
in this room? That's right. There's Shawn
Mainly
Windsor
him.
will be providing some insights and some advice. Mark Fellhauer, of course, drawing upon his many years of
being alive. I know nothing.
Of creating carbon dioxide, and of course I'll be here. But after we've weighed in, the real genius, the real master psychologist, Stephen Patrick Morrissey, known to the world as Morrissey, will offer his thoughts on what we should take away from these problems. And we're pleased to be joined live by the Mazer, who is not really good at taking advice, like lighten up Francis, but is really good at dispensing.
Not at all.
There he goes again. And we are brought to you once again by Luke Nowacki and David Hall. We will be telling you how Luke can help you build wealth and how David Hall can help you save money so you'll have some wealth to let Luke build into even more wealth after we... Well, let's not wait. Let's get right into this with a little question I like to call Dad Pays. Our inquisitive human being writes, my siblings and I would like advice. Well, you've come to the right place. Our parents will be celebrating their 40th anniversary and have asked if all the children, their spouses, and the grandkids would be able to plan to go on a family vacation together to celebrate the occasion and spend time with one another.
Fun.
Wonderful. Exactly what we should be trying to do as families. We're now starting to plan the vacation, and my sister-in-law, let's call her Susan, real name Suzanne, is acting extremely rude to my parents about it. Susan is insisting and demanding to my father's face and in the presence of other family members that the only way she and her family, meaning this man's son and grandchildren, will attend is if my dad pays for it, as this is what everyone does in a similar situation. I wonder what her dad would do in this situation. My parents both work. They're unable to retire because they are supporting my grandmother. Susan does not seem interested in decorum, as we have all been treated very poorly in the past. We're accustomed to this behavior and have tried to focus on the grandkids, nieces, nephews to deal with her entitlement, rudeness, and purposeful exclusion in favor of her family. All of my parents' children are doing very well, and my siblings and I are grateful our folks have done so much for us. We're used to Susan's behavior, but these comments are hurtful and frustrating and have hurt my parents' feelings. My perspective is if they don't want to come, fine.
Yeah.
What would be appropriate to say if she makes this demand again? She has now done this 2 times in front of everyone. My brother is silent, which summarizes the last 10 years. Gentlemen, What saith you about
That was an easy one.
Susan?
Go ahead, Sean.
No, you go ahead, Mark.
Don't go then. Right? I mean, is it mandatory that they go?
You mean Susan?
Yeah,
not this other
Susan.
kid.
No, I think it's more about should Susan's husband say anything. Which, yeah, I think he should be like, can you lay off my mom and my dad about paying for the trip? Can you let it go? We either can figure out a way to go or we're not going.
And she, it sounds like in other situations, has been discourteous and somewhat assertive in terms of, her rights and privileges without any regard for anybody else in the family's concerns.
Let's just flip this here for a second. What if this is just a little snippet, and what if, in fact, the person who wrote this and the family are not telling us the whole story?
That Susan is actually the victim here, the reasonable person?
Yeah, not the victim, but the reasonable person, and that maybe the dad has offered to pay in the past for something, or maybe he's long talked about wanting to take his family on a vacation.
Yeah,
or the mom. I shouldn't just say the dad.
If you pay for something in the past, doesn't mean you pay for everything going forward.
And this sounds like a big trip. Lots of people.
No, for sure, but I'm just saying, what is that possible? That somehow, because, and maybe you're right. Maybe she's just incredible entitlement and lack of self-awareness, because that takes some huge balls.
It really does.
To the family you married into, to sit there and say you're paying for us. I mean,
maybe I'm too prideful. I would never do that.
I wouldn't either. Most people probably wouldn't. But is it possible that she somehow got a message somewhere?
Well,
and that
it's okay. Yeah, I'm sure somewhere.
Think about this for a minute. This is the parents' 40th wedding anniversary, and they're still working.
Yeah.
This is when the family chips in to take them somewhere instead of,
How many siblings again?
She does not say, but it sounds like there's a lot. I mean, sister-in-law, so there's at least two siblings, a daughter, the son.
Can they maybe get together and say, hey, okay,
nieces and nephews,
we'll put up some money. We want you to pay us back, but we don't want mom and dad paying for you guys. We want you there. We'll loan you this money. The siblings loan the other sibling money, which is very messy when siblings loan other siblings money.
That's true. I mean, that's a nice gesture, though.
Well, if they have the ability to do it, let's say, what is it, $5,000? Hey, we'll loan you $5,000, but can you pay us back at no rate, really, at no point?
It sounds to me, though, like Susan, in quotations, of course, right? The alias,
a.k.a. Suzanne.
Oh, yes. Okay, also known as Suzanne. It sounds to me like this is a tipping point. Like she is not like her sister.
Yes, this is not the first time.
She's not, and probably not just money, but just any time when the sister-in-law has overstepped her bounds in what she sees as her, her blood family, right? So, and she's sick of it. It's been a decade, and she even references that it's been a decade.
Yes, exactly. My brother is silent, which summarizes the last 10 years. So I think there's some friction between the sister and the brother.
Think of how miserable that brother is.
Oh, God. Yeah, I
Putting
mean,
up with that.
Here's my advice is, first of all, Susan, I'll meet in the tunnel under Michigan Stadium, and brother, why don't you grow a pair? But what do you think Morrissey would say?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Please.
I was going to add on. They have kids too, so it kind of sucks if all the cousins go, right, and the young kids don't go because they don't maybe understand why they can't go or why.
Oh, that's a good point.
Grandma and grandpa won't play. I don't know how old the kids are. I don't know if they're youngsters or if they're teenagers.
They could be in their 30s.
Yeah, it's possible.
When I was a teenager, I was in constant agony. So the further away I get from that period is a blessing. It really is.
Okay. Sage advice. Thank you, Morrissey.
Yeah, I appreciate Morrissey giving it some perspective that whatever trauma they're going through right now as they grow older,
it'll go away.
They'll still be miserable, but it'll fade a little.
Well, we thank Susan, quotation mark Susan, for the question, though, right?
Susan's sister-in-law of Susan.
Sister, sorry. We thank her for the question.
SOSS.
There you go.
Okay, what other portentous questions await?
Mark?
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, you've got a fairly black and white one, so to speak.
Which one? Which one do you want me to do? This one?
I think that's the one.
I didn't pay attention when you guys were telling me which one. Let's see. Oh, wow. The evil cheater one?
Oh, yeah. Mike really wanted to get on that one.
Well, not on the evil cheater.
This person cheated on their spouse one night with a friend who is also married. We both have happy marriages and happy families. We love our spouses and our children dearly. Neither of us had any interest in blowing up our lives. We just happened to be out in town in the same place, and we wound up finding each other irresistible.
That sounds kind of beautiful for a moment there.
I guess you're that hot. For that one night, they just thought each other were so hot, so they nailed. We don't live in the same state.
That's good.
I know how people feel about infidelity, but honestly, I'm starting to wonder, is this kind of thing, is it more common than we think? Is it something you hear a lot? It happened, things happened, it was nice, no plans to do it again, no reason to hurt my spouse, and destroy our lives, life goes on, or am I possibly evil and I don't realize it?
I think it's the latter. I think, this feels like, cheated on my spouse, this other friend cheated on their spouse, shit happens, get over it. I mean...
Well, the line, too, about, is this more common than we think? It almost sounds like he wants it to be excused.
Yeah, I would
like,
love...
Yeah, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, I'd love for his wife to write and say, "Dear asshole, I banged somebody else, too, I guess we're even."
I mean, I don't know how irresistible this writer is.
It sounds like he thinks he's pretty irresistible.
Exactly. Not everybody's that irresistible.
Yeah, it's the axe
Some
effect.
Some people can keep their dick in their pants or their vagina. I don't know. This could be a woman writing it.
You are.
I think it's a guy.
What?
You're irresistible.
Oh, thank you. Stop treating me like a piece of meat.
I'm trying. I know I'm working.
I mean, I don't want to crucify this guy.
Oh, evil is way too strong. Clearly,
he didn't make a mistake. He realized it's a mistake. It doesn't. If it happens again, then he's really fucking up. But
I did not detect one iota of remorse in that email.
No, it sounds
That's why I go for the evil.
No, he didn't say he felt bad. It was struggling.
He said it was nice.
What you should be writing is to say, how do I broach this with my wife? I don't want this to disrupt our relationship. I love her. I appreciate what we have. It was a moment of weakness. And so it's like, the heart wants what the heart wants. And who wouldn't want a slice of this big hunk of guy? I mean, evil, yes. For sure.
I don't know if he's evil. I don't want to say
not evil. I mean,
he's not very thoughtful towards his vows.
I think he's evil.
Yeah, that's kind of harsh.
Because that's how you think.
Evil. Yeah.
Everything's so black and white with you.
Well, what's the take from the Bard of Manchester?
It could be a load of tripe, depending upon what the person's saying.
I mean, things that are evil tend to be things that are evil traditionally tend to be things that are also illegal. And this is nowhere near illegal.
Well, what if he's in the military? Isn't adultery?
Yeah, I think.
Just making something.
I think once again, Morrissey nails it.
Yeah, my dad.
Predictably so.
My dad lost rank, or not lost rank, but didn't get promoted because of it.
See,
and Belvin,
but he didn't.
Belvin was quite popular with the opposite sex. Your stepfather.
Yeah.
He of the unbelted kimono and
no, he had his.
He was the only Air Force commando.
Maybe that's why I don't think of it as evil, because you're just around people. People I've had. You know people, and
I think that's
it's not
modern
that
life,
simple,
really.
so.
I think that's how we all live.
Exactly.
Maybe you do, Morrissey.
No, Morrissey, you're Morrissey's pretty right on, actually.
For a celibate guy, he really knows about people screwing.
He does.
Not at all.
It's amazing. Amazing. Shawn, who's turning to us for some good counsel?
Well, we don't have a name in quotations here. We do have a couple of words in quotations here, and I'll get to those here in a quick second.
Words that begin with a certain consonant?
Not necessarily. Not the ones you're thinking.
Oh.
No. Okay. The more euphemistic versions of those words, or maybe the more hopeful versions of those.
Do tell.
Okay. I am the mother. I'm not a mother as far as I know, but this person is. I am a mother of 3 who are in their 20s. They all use foul language regularly. I have been known to drop an F-bomb or 2 when I stub a toe and such. For them, it is just an adverb or verb they use calmly and constantly. I used to use foul language more often until I worked with a guy who told me how offended he was by such words. As a result, I have cut back dramatically and used gosh or heck, there are the quotations,
hey now,
in online posts and in conversation. I feel that it makes my kids seem crass or dull and unimaginative while also being offensive to some. I shudder to think how my late parents would react if they were to hear it. I have asked them to clean it up once or twice. One of them told me I was just too sensitive and behind the times because, quote, people just don't get offended by this anymore. Anything I can do? Am I overly sensitive or well-mannered?
WTH. What the heck? I find, particularly working in newsrooms, that the F word is used like a comma. It's not even an exclamation point anymore. And as someone who was a prolific violator, I almost never use it, mainly because when I use it, I want that to be a not so subtle indication that I'm really pissed off about something. This isn't just the latest tirade.
Yeah, but you're very judicious in your word choice, right? You're very thought out in what you're saying. And
don't confuse those pauses for intellect. It may just be because I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But this is still great advice.
What is the main question? Just does she think how do people look at you when you talk like that?
Is she being a prude now?
Yeah,
now that
she
she's
wants
found
to know.
religion.
She wants to know if she needs to just let her kids be who they are in her presence and not make it an issue and not fight with them and not keep trying to get on them.
I'm kind of surprised the kids don't have the wherewithal to maybe read the room a bit.
Yeah, but they're kids. Maybe they want that advice. So when I was growing up, we lived in a small bungalow, and all the other houses were right next to us. To our left was a Calvinist minister. To our right was like a born again minister, and our windows were open all the time in the summer because it was so bloody hot. And my brother would throw F-bombs as a kid who was like 10, 11, or 12, like you couldn't believe. So these other houses were just ringing with these curse words, and my mom just kind of, said, "Okay, I'm not really thrilled about this, but I'm not going to try and hold back the ocean." So she just kind of let it wash.
Do you swear
over.
in front of your mom? I mean, you did that time when you and Shawn were fighting, but do you regularly swear in front of her?
Shawn started
it. Do you?
I'm trying to get him going. He's still caught in the Christmas spirit.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
answer
I would curse in front of her,
Yeah.
and she's dropped a few bombs.
Yeah.
Teresa's the one who curses like a sailor in front of our daughters, and then I hear my daughters cursing. I'm like, nice mouth, Mom.
I got to tell you, the one great thing about having worked in radio is that I've learned to not swear because a lot of times it just becomes a crutch almost. Like you said, you use it like a comma, but you kind of have to have that wherewithal. So having kids now, it's great because I try not to swear in front of them.
So you weren't spoiled by the 7-second delay.
So
God no.
I have a couple of thoughts.
To keep my job.
I have a couple of quick thoughts. Before those, though, I want to say this reminds me of a quote in the great Bill McGraw's quote book from Mayor Coleman Young, where he is in. I don't know if it's Tokyo or not, but he's in Japan. He's at some state dinner, and there's translators, and there's a word that a Japanese ambassador, whatever, uses in Japanese that has a lot of different meanings. Do you know this, Mike?
I know where you're going.
Aloha.
And Mayor Coleman says, yeah, we have a word. Doesn't say but we have a word like that here too, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And motherfucker is one of the great, or fucker, or whatever, but motherfucker in particular is one of the great words, is slang in our culture. And it can mean hundreds of different things. And I guess
every culture has words like that.
No, for sure. And my point is, my feeling about this is, yes, our culture is changing. On the one hand, you could say, and when I was young, people would say if you cuss, it shows a lazy mind and not a very bright mind. But now I hear a lot of people say, if you don't cuss, then you're kind of hiding something, that you're not being authentic, you're not being who you are.
It's cathartic, right? I mean,
right, and that you're trying to show something you're not being authentic. And I think there's something to that too. And so I probably fall a little bit in between, which Mike would say, of course you do, to pick a motherfucking side. But my kids cuss around me a lot more than I did around my parents.
Sure.
When I was that age.
But
your dads were in the military, which is saying something.
My mother cussed a lot more. My dad it hurt.
Your mom could cuss in multiple languages too, I imagine.
Yeah, no. She liked to cuss, but yeah. So I was never, was never really taboo.
But if your mom became like that letter writer who's like,
she wouldn't,
more straight laced, right? And you knew about that, you would stop swearing around. That's
I would probably try to do that. But we're all like
know who
that,
you're
right?
talking to. Yeah.
You're like that, right, Mike? You go to certain places, stores, whatever gatherings, and you kind of read the room a little bit.
You have to.
That's just
the
basic
room.
human
Yeah.
sort of interaction. On the other hand, I don't have any problem with cussing like that.
Well, the one thing about MF is it's such a great word to express many different emotions. Like if you were standing in the middle of Woodward Avenue and some Godzilla start walking up, you'd be like, motherfucker. You know, I mean, it's not like a curse word. It's almost like expressing
Or
astonishment.
if you're saying, or somebody else might say that motherfucker better get out of here, whatever. Right? It's just
Well, and not only that, this is what I hate about a lot of social media. There's no context or tone. I mean, you could just say, "Oh, that guy's such a motherfucker." Means a lot different than, "Oh, that guy's a motherfucker." Right?
that's right.
I mean,
No,
they just have two totally different meanings.
they do.
Yeah. Or when you're in church, like, when are we going to get the MF in communion? I got to go. I mean, it works everywhere.
Maybe we should send this person the George Carlin
7
yeah.
words you can't say.
piss. Was it piss? No,
Piss, shit, cock,
motherfucker. No.
cunt.
Yeah, that's a word we
Tits.
don't use. But Mike, being the Anglophile who loves all things British and Irish,
I got to tell you, there's very few words that still cut through in American English, unlike that one.
Yeah. You want to get somebody's attention, drop the C-bomb.
they use it in England all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So
No.
it doesn't have the same power, though. I don't
It's
think.
like knucklehead.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit more than that, but yeah, no.
Well, I mean,
What a cunt!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know,
Let's see what Morrissey has to say about
but
it.
they cuss more over there.
What? Who? What? They do?
Yeah,
They do a bit.
they do. I mean, so it demystifies it a little bit. I think they have the right way. So move to England, person, and lighten up.
Where Morrissey's from. Let's see what he has to say about those kids.
Had such a profound effect upon me as a teenager that
Swearing?
It made me very, very introverted.
Okay, he doesn't like swearing.
Wow. I guess this woman's kids are becoming very extroverted and she wants to.
Not at all.
I picked a side for you, by the way.
It was,
Oh,
it was
you did.
wonderful.
That's very
Lighten
nice.
up. Lighten
About
up.
It was wonderful.
About
I love
time.
it. I love it. Well, there's a lot of parents out there seeking advice, and as parents ourselves, I think we know how difficult it can be to keep your kids on the right track. And it's, you feel like if you make a mistake, you're going to get in trouble. Maybe you'll even get canceled. Well, this grandma says she used to babysit for 2 granddaughters on a regular basis. Then COVID interrupted that for a while. One of the granddaughters has a severe nut allergy. Unfortunately, after so much time apart, Granny got a little lazy and stopped being as careful as she used to be checking food. She accidentally gave her granddaughter a snack with nuts in it. It was completely accidental, and she had a minor reaction. Oh, but her parents' reaction was not minor at all. They have not said as much, but she believes they have written her off as a babysitter. I've not been asked to keep the kids again since. I apologized, paid the copay for the doctor visit, purged my house of everything with nut traces, and still no change. They thank me for the gestures, then continue to not ask me to babysit. What else can I do to redeem myself from this minor mistake?
Well, first off, ask them, right? Be like, this is everything I've done. Like, did I do something else that I'm not aware of?
Well, she did say that they've acknowledged her attempts or her.
yeah, but is there
efforts.
something else she did? Like, I made a mistake. I mean, people make mistakes. Why do we not forgive anymore?
These people are assholes. Let's call it what it is. First of all,
You mean the kids, the
the parents.
you're getting free babysitting from grandparents, and I think every kid in the world who spent any time with their grandparents know that's like going on vacation. And then the kid gets sick. Relatively minor reaction. You pay for the copay. You're already providing the free babysitting, and then these guys are icing you out, and they don't even have the stones to say, you know what, Ma, because it's got to be one of their parents. We love you and we appreciate it, but we're just so worried about this, and accidents happen, and you're getting a little older, and
but she
frankly,
wants-
we've been thinking about putting you in a home, and you smell kind of funny, and whenever we come over here, it's like mothballs and formaldehyde, so we just don't want our child to basically be in a house of death. And so
I agree, but what do you want her to do? She wants to know what she should do. Like,
Sorry,
what else
I got-
can she do?
I got a little carried
I
away.
know, it sounded almost
Disown the kids,
real.
move
Disown
away,
the kid, shut up.
shove a cashew up the kid's ass. I don't know.
I mean, she wants to watch them again. I think maybe you should just talk to your kids about it.
Yeah, or do what a lot of people do. When they go to the park, get a white van, some binoculars. No, bad advice. Okay, maybe this isn't.
Sean,
Maybe this is my good one for me.
mean,
what should grandma do?
just start off by offering to come over and spend some time with him, or ask them to come over with the kid, and they'll all hang out together. And maybe she could be in the living room, and they could go in the kitchen, and I don't know, baby steps, right? Start off with just that, because she has no control over this, obviously. And the end goal. I mean, I know it's not the same as having them yourself. We had to go through that with my mother. We had to take the kids away at some point, but that was because of dementia.
Well, that's why I was wondering if there's something else she did she forget something that she's unaware of. But you're not going to know that unless you talk to them.
No, and sometimes you don't find out. Like I found out, my mom at one point lost her heat in her house, her furnace. And so she was heating, instead of getting it fixed, she was heating the house by turning the stove on and opening it up. Her transmission blew, not completely, but to the point where she could only do 35, 40 miles an hour on the freeway. And we would find these out when the boys would just
in the fast lane,
just
probably.
innocently sort of, oh, yeah, we were going really slow on the highway the other day. Well, that's relative to a 7-year-old, right? But you don't. Yeah. And then we eventually realized, so just things like that. And eventually we just kind of had to, but we didn't really have a conversation with her. We just stopped doing it because you don't want to hurt their feelings. So I sort of understand the kids' perspective here a little bit in that way, because they're probably trying to be protective of the mom, right? There could be some of that.
But over a peanut allergy too?
Yeah, here's what you do.
Yeah, but peanut allergies for some kids can kill you, so I wouldn't dismiss that at all.
This minor reaction. I think what she does is she dresses up as Mr. Peanut, goes over there. And says,
and smothers the house in peanut butter.
Get some of this right here. Get right down into this shit right here. So
I mean, what she willing to do? If she goes to, here's the thing. My advice is don't push it too far, because you don't want to lose the relationship. Period. Because you want to be around your grandkids. So it's tricky. And what ultimately matters? Hanging out with your grandkids. If you can't have them for a while by yourself, that's okay.
You don't want to be lonely.
The trust, it's not the loneliness. You just want to see your grandkids.
I think the loneliness matters.
I think it's how we all live. I think we all carry loneliness around with us, and I think we all carry great frustrations around with us. And I think we're all taught or led to believe that we shouldn't really talk about these things. And I get great gratification from talking about them, especially at parties and funerals.
And Marcy, that added nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
This is an
Nobody's right, though.
This is an old lady who's going nuts. She needs some help.
All right, next.
Mark?
I'm up again? All right. I find it so... This is from a woman. Do you want me to do a stereotypical female voice, Sean?
That's, entirely up to you, but
no.
no.
It's so frustrating.
No.
Okay. I find it so frustrating when my partner will not do...
That strangely aroused me. Let's keep your normal voice.
Wait, I guess it could be from a gay... Oh, no, it's from a woman. I find it so frustrating when my partner will not do his share of the housework, saying that if I want the house clean, then I should do it myself. This happens even when his family's going to visit. Do you think the frequent complaints from a woman about gender... Do you think the frequent complaints from women about gender imbalance in doing housework are because our culture has expectations that a woman should keep up a nice home, but it seems to have lower expectations for men? I assume my partner's mother will see a messy home as my responsibility. We all pay the price for archaic and sexist beliefs about housekeeping, but how do we get past it? Is it fair for me to tell his family that he didn't want to help with the cleaning and I didn't have time to do it, all of it, by myself?
Wow, so kind of knife him, right? Just call him out right in front of his family.
But
well, I mean, you don't have to do it. You don't have to be like, he didn't clean up anything.
But that might work, though. I mean, you shame him that way.
You could jokingly do it.
It could work, unless he's abusive, and then that's not good.
What?
But,
jeez.
Well, I mean,
I got really dark.
No, I'm just saying, sometimes you shame men and they react with violence. That's fairly common.
Why hasn't it occurred to this woman that his family knows he's a slob
too, yeah.
even before she did, because they live with this pig?
I'm probably
sure,
amazed at how clean the house is.
Yeah, she's probably their favorite daughter-in-law or partner, because, when these pigs move out of the house, we're all grateful. I mean, I don't want to pick up your dirty socks or trip over a pair of your shoes that you left in the middle of the stairs. I mean, this guy, she should just take the mother-in-law aside and just say, listen, Mom, we both know this.
They're married?
They're partners.
Partners,
They're somehow
what it
together.
says, yeah.
So I'm going to say practical mother-in-law.
But him not doing his share of the work isn't because of society. That's because he just chose to be a slob and doesn't want to clean up. Now, maybe there's a bigger societal thing about it, but in this situation, it's just because your partner's a slob. He doesn't want to do it.
No, but her point is that maybe he wasn't raised with that kind of expectation because of a larger societal thoughts, and so
Yeah, but
that's
she can't
absolutely
fix that.
true. No, she can't, and it's as far as we've come, it's still sort of. I mean, study after study shows that there's still a fairly decent imbalance.
Yeah, I'll leave that to the sociologist
in the household, right?
But this one example, don't worry about all that stuff.
It's not even about being a slob. You can both not care about certain things, and that's fine. It's all about, are you going to figure out who's going to do what, and is it going to be fairly balanced? And that's different for everybody, what that looks like.
She should just stop cleaning his dishes and his laundry and all his stuff.
No, completely. Absolutely. If he's not going to do anything, I mean, what are you willing to live with, too, right? If he's not going to do shit and says to you, well, if you want it that way, you do it. I mean, fuck that.
Yeah, this guy.
It's pretty shitty.
Screw
This
that.
guy's got a big elf painted on his forehead.
No, that's just being an asshole. That's to me, that's evil. You're talking about some guy slipping up out of town, whatever. Not slipping up, but fucking up out of town. Yeah.
Boy, we should probably survey the spouses out there and say, option A, your spouse cheats on you. Option B, you got to do some extra dishes.
Sean, it's
I think
basically-
B is going to win in a run.
No, what I'm saying- No,
what you're saying is-
What I'm saying is, if
it's
you're
okay
if you're
to cheat if you do the dishes.
No, what I'm saying is, if your spouse messes up one time over the course of 40 years, as opposed to looks down on you and because that's really what that is, and says, you're not worthy of me doing the work in the house day after fucking day for 40 years, which is worse?
Getting banged out by some loser on the road, maybe bringing home an STD. I can wash your damn socks.
Yeah, but see, that's-
or I can throw them in the
No,
trash,
that's,
and your barefoot cheating ass
that's-
can do whatever you want to do.
That's old biblical misogynistic bullshit is what that is. That's looking
You
at
can
it
say
all the wrong way.
I, but what you really mean is we.
Yeah, see? ML?
I think
I don't know if that provided any advice.
I think Sean's got the cheating gene. That's what
No,
he's
I'm
telling
just saying
That cheat.
no, you don't want either. But my point is, if you're going to make somebody feel like shit day after, because that's really what that is, day after day after day after day. How long are you going to put up with that? That's really what that is. It's like, you don't matter. I'm not willing to walk onto the other side of the house and do this.
What if he does do it, but it's not as clean as she wants it to be?
Well, okay, then that's her issue. She's going to be that particular about, I didn't get every crumb off the counter. That's different. But if you're not going to pick up after yourself,
I think she should just take the mother-in-law aside and say, listen.
Has he always been such a slob?
Yeah,
Say it like that.
raised, no.
We both know that you failed as a parent. Your son is now failing as a partner. I hope you can make yourself comfortable in the urine-stained mattress we've provided for you in the guest room.
There you go.
Not to
It's
mention,
very, very difficult to examine modern life and think it's a wonderful thing for people.
not to mention, you say you cheat
It's
once.
just
What?
a ball of fun.
What's the Adam Sandler movie where the guy's wife is always busting his agates because he cheated once? He's like, one time you're going over there and they got the whores and it's all the whores doing that. And it's just like, okay, one time I messed up during World War II and I got to hear about it the rest of my life. So that one slip, you might not get off as easy
for
as
sure.
you think.
No, I'm not saying. Of course, no, for sure. But the idea that somebody would just dismiss you in that on a daily basis that way, it's just, yeah.
And
She doesn't say that he dismisses her. He just says that he will not do his share of the housework.
But that's what that is.
Who's dividing up? Maybe she's dividing it up. Maybe he does do a very large share, but it's not enough for
I mean,
her.
I guess that's possible. That's possible.
Unlikely, but
You're right. Probably.
I'm just trying to get the other side.
Yeah.
I just
I hear ya.
got a text from Ann. It says, Sean is the neatest man I've ever known. What is he hiding?
You know, I'm actually not that neat at all, but it just tries to.
So you're a dirty cheater. Okay.
No, it's just,
plot thickens.
are you gonna? Let's just say, here's a scenario. You get, you're cleaned up, you brush your teeth, whatever. You're getting into bed, you're tired. It's been a long day. You get in bed, you get under the covers.
Whom?
And you have a partner, and your partner gets in bed a minute before, a few minutes before, whatever, and they forget something. a glass of water, the phone charger, whatever, and
Astroglide.
Yeah, exactly. You're wiped out, tired, but you just get in. It feels so good. You lie down, finally about to sleep, and then they say, "Hey, did you mind? Would you go get that?" How are you going to react in that moment? Are you just going to get up? You're going to get up and go do it? Or you're going to go, "Oh my God, why did you forget that?"
No, what do you mean? If you're the person that forgot it and you just got
No, if you're the person that gets asked to go do that, can you, in that moment when you're dog tired and the last thing you want to do is get back up, can you, in that moment, just...
it's very easy.
What would Oscar Pistorius say?
Just get up and go do it, right?
No, you get up and go do it, but you make a lot of theatrics about it. You go, oh, it's so comfortable. Oh, God, it's so cold. What am I supposed to do again?
Yeah,
Well, that
Or is that
settles
just
it.
me?
I'm never sleeping with either of you guys.
Yeah, no,
Or better
no.
yet, you just pretend you're asleep.
No, to me, you just get up and that's the moment right there, right? You just get up and go do it.
Yeah, but don't you make a lot of theatrics
and
about
say,
it?
no, you don't.
You don't at least go,
No, you don't. Maybe once in a blue moon, if it becomes a habit and they keep forgetting the same. Oh, is that what you do? And they keep forgetting.
hey,
the same
everything
thing.
I do is theatrical. Everything puts me out. Sorry.
Yeah,
That sounds like a lot of trouble.
yeah.
Well,
You do things. That's the point. You do things for you. That's
Of course you,
have
do.
to.
That's part of being in a family. Or
And this
relationship.
motherfucker is not. That's my only
Yeah.
point.
But you're only hearing her side. Just saying.
No, for sure. Like we said with an earlier.
He might email him and be like, "Oh, my partner's all over my ass to clean all the time, and I do, but it's never good enough."
Yeah, she's on me again because I don't iron my socks.
and toothbrush the tile on the
Yeah.
tub.
See,
I can't live under these.
what is her level of cleanliness? We don't
It's
know.
true. No, it's true. Is this Phil Hartman and
This is what I love about
Oh,
Shawn.
Phil.
the anal chef?
Sean will back down from a position if you pose a little bit of nuance to the other side.
Yeah, Phil Hartman, by the
I'm not
way,
backing down. I'm just
No,
saying.
I know.
had the ultimate understanding spouse, as he found out as she emptied
yeah.
multiple rounds.
No, but she's not asking him to fold the scraps, the food scraps,
Yes.
and then fold it again, and then staple it into a brown paper bag, and then put it into some hermetically sealed container after that, right?
Such a great bit.
Yikes!
All right,
I
who's
don't know
next?
That one.
You know, yeah.
You don't know the anal retentive chef? Or
To heck with, dude. Just do some housework. Come on.
Amen. Your turn.
Was it my turn?
We thought you were.
Come on, dude,
You
do
took a
some
break to do
housework.
some
Let's go.
housework. I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Who's this from? Oh, is this from somebody in this room?
Let's find out.
Okay, no, I don't actually think it is.
Don't deprive us of the joy of discovery.
No, yeah, I don't think it is. My mother-in-law is insisting she should be in the delivery room when my son is born. Oh, wow, I love it. That's a straight, simple declarative sentence. Bam, bam, bam. We know what the whole issue is. We don't need any more. That's just good, clean writing. Wow, she should consider maybe a different career.
Well,
Thank you for editing the email.
Yeah, the writing was so much clearer than the explanation.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't want extra people in the room, anyone other than my husband and my own mother. I will be trying to do this drug-free. Ooh.
Oh, God.
Good, more power to you.
What's wrong? Yeah.
My husband feels as if he is between a rock and a hard place since his mother and I are both adamant. But I think I get to choose since I will be the one in labor. I already told my mother-in-law and I am uncomfortable with her presence during delivery, and she apparently spent a week crying about it, much to the dismay of my husband and father-in-law, who are pressuring me to change my mind because they are used to giving her her way when she does this drama thing. But I feel it is important to set some boundaries and not be manipulated. Do you think I'm being unfair? Absolutely not.
I can't believe that matters that much to that husband.
That's the most definitive I've ever heard Shawn about anything. With no equivocation, just bang. Well, here's my question.
What if the mother-in-law is an OBGYN and wants to help out? And then is it allowed?
No. It's up to the
I'm just trying to find that piece of nuance.
There's none. Yeah. There's none. My mother wanted in on my firstborn.
It's entirely up to the
and the mom of my firstborn said no.
What if?
And that was that.
It's entirely up to that person.
What if
I don't think
the
there's any gray
baby
area.
is being nurtured in a uterus donated by the mother-in-law, where she feels like a stakeholder?
So she's a
Say
surrogate.
anything about that in there?
She's a surrogate. Is that what you meant?
It's a surrogate womb.
Is that what you meant?
She wants to be in the delivery womb. is so to speak.
So she wants to actually like pitch a tent in the uterus.
Is that okay then?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is a sort of subtlety that these questions don't often convey, but I think greater minds.
She's not being unfair. You're not being unfair.
I will say, okay, why? Is it kind of weird though that she's cool with her own mom being there though?
No, that's up to her too.
Exactly. But that's kind of this is sort of like Brittany Griner and the arms dealer, right? If you don't want one of these people in there, you may have to do sort of a reverse
if you
prisoner
can't
exchange.
see the difference between who you consider to be your mother and a mother-in-law, then I can't help you. There's an enormous difference.
There it is,
There
but
doesn't always have to be. Maybe a woman who's given birth,
But-
the mom's not in the picture, and the mother-in-law's become like her mother.
But you know who's
That's fine,
it's
too.
not a difference to? It's not a difference to her mother-in-law and her husband. I mean, they see it pretty much as being the same as her mom being in there.
Yeah, that's the husband there is being.
I know it's kind of weird that it matters that much to him.
Yeah, well, but it sounds like to me that he's not used to pushing back against his mom, no matter what it is. So that's a different issue.
Mommy problems.
Yeah.
I do think that the woman should get to choose, but I think if your mom's going to be in there, you're kind of telling the mother-in-law
That she's not your mother. That's all you're telling her.
You're just not as important.
Yeah.
This one isn't gray. You're just saying, I'm sorry, mom-in-law, you're not my mom.
Damn, we have found a point on the compass
Shawn puts
where
his foot
Shawn
down.
sees only north. There's no south, east, or west.
Yeah, the mother-in-law's got to understand that. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not your mother? Oh, I guess not. I'm here because your son married, my son married you. That's it.
I've been in there a couple times, and if somebody said, hey, get the guy from the bar, it's over, I could live with that.
Yeah, and if you don't back the fuck off, you're never going to see little Johnny.
Whoa, jeez. Sorry. Damn. I love it.
The gratification, I thought, was standing in front of people and forcing them to
Yes.
accept you.
Oh, okay.
More,
Does he know how labor works?
That's this. The mother-in-law wants to be accepted. She wants to be as important as the mother. She's actually offering her soul to this adopted daughter, if you will, and she is being soundly rejected.
It could be a load of tripe.
Exactly. Or shite.
Or that.
She's being a fucking busybody. How about, hey, we talked about cussing
That
earlier.
is weird.
Yeah, she's being a fucking nosy, busy,
Yeah, you know what? That's the other aspect. Why does it mean so much to the mother-in-law? Why do you have to be there during the labor?
It's not her business. Just focus on you getting
No, I
a
know.
grandchild and have fun.
But my thing is, you ask, they say no. Okay, end of story. Why do you have to cry about it for a week and demand? That's weird. That's weird.
Maybe she's got sisters
bizarre.
herself or good friends herself who've
That's
had
weird.
that experience because they were really close with their son or their daughter-in-law or whatever, right? So
I don't know why they want to be in the room anyway.
maybe that's just been her experience.
Maybe she's one of these mother-in-laws who, after the wedding, wanted to make sure that her new daughter-in-law was still a virgin. She could be one of those people.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
In modern
Believe it.
days.
Where is Santa? We talked to him last week.
Christmas is over.
I wish he were back here with us this week because somebody's got to keep you in line.
I'll tell you
Not
this
at
about
all.
Santa. The minute he left, I heard burning rubber. I mean, he was just, I gotta get out of here.
By the way, that was a great episode.
There's some interesting
I
musical
know.
selections.
Feels like it just happened. Very
Well,
memorable. It's so
sometimes
memorable.
Sometimes it's like that.
It's so memorable. I feel like we just.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right, next.
Yeah, go ahead. We've been doing this show for how long?
189 episodes.
Oh yeah, no,
I think.
186 episodes. I think.
Really?
I think so. Wow. I think so. Is it back to me? Okay. So a lot of great advice. We certainly appreciate the
Yeah.
inveighing
More wisdom.
of Mr. Morrissey, the Salford lad himself. And we're going to end with what may be a simple one, but you never know until you really start to look at this from many perspectives and bring the collected wisdom in this room to bear. Our flummoxed young gentleman says, I have an extended family member whose son is gay. He has been in a relationship with his live-in partner for many years. I have visited them on several occasions and have always had a pleasant time. There's been some talk recently about the two of them getting married. Although I wish them both the best, should I receive an invitation, my beliefs preclude me from attending. One or both of my younger siblings may attend, thereby representing the family. but I worry that by not attending, I will damage the relationship with my relative. If I were to attend, I would feel like a hypocrite, and the thought of going against my core values is at odds with my fondness for both his relative and his son. Have you any thoughts, suggestions, or advice?
That was a heavy one.
Yeah, and I should say, I don't know whether this is from a young man or a young woman, or sounds like some old bag, but
I mean, this is a weird one. If you love them that much and you have a great time seeing them, I don't know what is the belief system that is stopping them from going, because
There isn't one.
Are they getting married in a church or a synagogue? I mean, what is it, a religious ceremony in there you don't want to go, or is this a political belief? You know, it's kind of hard to figure that out without knowing where that starts. But I don't know.
if you like
I think
seeing
we're the
them
wrong people to ask.
together
Yeah,
and
then what's
happy,
the problem?
why wouldn't you like see them together on the happiest day of their lives? I don't understand. Yes, you are a hypocrite. Yes, you need to lighten up.
It's why is it hypocrite? I mean, it's only hypocritical in his own mind, though, or his or her own mind, right? I mean, no one's going to look at this person and go, "You're a hypocrite because you've spoken about gay marriage, against gay marriage so much, and now you went to one." You know, if someone's going to judge you based on that, then maybe you're better off not having that person
She's
around.
not worried about. It's a she, right?
I assume it's some blue hair and a house coat. And
I mean, maybe it's
using
a guy.
garters
Okay.
to hold the
How about
stockings up.
This person's not worried about. It sounds to me like other people thinking they are a hypocrite.
Yeah, so
but
what?
more internally that they will be a hypocrite because of what they say, their values system or their beliefs, their values.
Yes, going against my core values.
Core values. So that's a hell of a phrase, core values, that it includes bigotry. Let's just be real.
I think that's right. I mean,
I understand that, but not everybody has the same values as you do. I don't, believe me, I don't like it. I don't want to defend that person for not. I don't know.
would they feel better if this was a civil union as opposed to?
That's
a
what I
wedding?
was wondering. Yeah, because we were talking about is it because it's a religious ceremony? Because they're not getting, most likely they're not getting married in a church.
Well, I was married in a civil union to my wife, and I don't feel any less betrothed to her than if I'd been married in a church. I mean, people come up with these names
They're
and
all
these
labeled.
constructs.
This
but
whole thing is about constructs and labels. And
yeah, if you're
the
against
hypocrite part.
people of the same gender committing themselves to somebody of the same gender, then how is it that you can visit them on several occasions and have always had a pleasant time?
Frankly, you're depriving yourself of what
some
sounds like
cake.
it's going to be a great fucking party.
Yeah, perhaps one of the best in terms of outfits and catering events of the year. Maybe it's your chance to. Maybe what's really going on is that this person is afraid of being outshone by the bridesmaids.
I doubt that.
This is not one of these drag queen things where people are like, I don't know, get really uptight around drag queens.
I would never deprive myself of a good time because of what someone else might think of me.
I don't think
Does
it's
that
an
make sense?
issue about other people. I just don't. I think it's.
Well, no, it sounds like
I think
they're being branded a hypocrite.
I think this person is sincerely struggling with an internal. It's an internal struggle, right? Their core value
yeah, they don't like it.
against people, a couple that, and a family member in particular that she or he clearly loves, or at least cares about a lot. So to me, that's an internal thing for this person, and that's too bad.
I gotta
That's,
tell you, I've never, I'm Catholic. I've never understood that aspect of being against that, because if it's about love and caring about other people, then that's what it's about.
the Bible is a guideline, right? I mean, we don't stone people. Well, we do, unfortunately, in parts of the world still.
Maybe we should.
But we don't stone people here anymore.
Bring it back.
I mean, right? There are plenty of things in the Bible we don't do anymore, and nor should we. It's okay. It's okay to say, hey, maybe I need to reconsider that a little
I
bit.
just
Yeah,
had
but
some
that's-
delicious rock badger the other day.
That's easier. I think that's easy for you to say than maybe someone who is very, very religious.
I understand that.
because they see it as the word of God.
No, I understand that.
So
But
here's my thought, that if you're so committed to your core values, you do run the risk. I would say it is a certainty that you will damage your relationship with your relative who will be offended. that
no,
you
for
won't
sure.
be there for that.
No question.
Go and have a good time.
So yeah,
Who cares what other
And
people say?
if you have that a religion in that way, that forgiveness is a big part of that, and you're going to be forgiven yourself.
So
When you start to feel guilty, remember there's an open bar.
There you go. Well, that could be against their core beliefs, though.
Oh, this person is not going to be much fun at the wedding. Maybe you're doing everybody a favor by staying home and watching reruns of Bewitched.
Go and forgive yourself, and know that you'll be forgiven.
Let's hear what another wedding enthusiast has to say about it.
Thankfully, other people's views don't really matter to me. Is that shocking?
Nothing shocking. Not for you at all.
Kind of negates
Very
the whole
succinct, though.
purpose of this show if other people's views don't matter. I wish we hadn't done this.
I do not Google myself. I'm not that interested. I mean, I am me. So I wake up as me, and I live through the day as me, so I don't have any need to sit down and Google me.
I can tell you that's the most interesting thing Morrissey's ever said, and he's so correct.
Well, and who else would he be other than me?
Yeah,
right?
no. So why would I want to Google myself? I know everything about myself I need to know.
I am me. So
That's a great line.
So hopefully this has helped you find your true north and navigate
Unlike
these
me.
treacherous waters.
Not at all.
Oh,
I don't blame you, Morrissey.
boys.
It's very, very difficult to examine modern life and think it's a wonderful thing for people.
Wow, jeez, okay. Can I tell you everybody about Hall Financial
Kind
here?
of got a point there.
We ended on a positive note there. Yes, let's help people. Let's actually truly help people with problems they have,
Yes.
like money.
Yeah, the holidays are, they can be very expensive. And right now, credit card interest rates are the highest they have been in decades. So Hall Financial is here to help you become debt-free. Getting a cash-out refinance from Hall Financial, it's a great way to use the equity in your house to pay off some of that high-interest credit card debt. All it takes is a free 5-minute mortgage review with Hall Financial to get you and your family in a better position this holiday season. Get the money you need now with a cash-out refinance from Hall Financial. Give Hall Financial a call. They're great people over there. 866-CALL-HALL, CALLHALL, or chat with them online at callhallfirst.com. And if you do have some of these big financial issues and problems, you got to know how it's going to affect your current and future financial goals, and you got to have those goals. And one person that can help you out with that is Luke Nowacki. He's got a whole team at Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. They're going to help you plan for all your financial goals, both right now and well into the future. Give Luke a call, 248-663-4748. He's going to give you a complimentary consultation to see if your plans and all that money you want to spend, if it's going to align with all the money you want to spend later in life.
Because when you call Hall, he will make it all about you, sweetheart.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Royal Alliance Associates Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Royal Alliance Associates Inc.
Oh man, the geeks have inherited the earth.
Did I do that?
What a dork.
Does him wanting to play with us again mean that he's turning into a geek, or we're turning into cool guys?
I hate to end the year on a bit of a rerun, but this week's geek, he just can't help it. It's Elon Musk once again doing crazy shit.
He's been our geek before.
He has been our geek before. Because he pops off all the time with his nutty stuff. And he thinks because he's got billions of dollars and is perceived as some sort of genius that he can just say and do whatever he wants, and that we're a bunch of rubes who can't remember what he said and did not too long ago. And the latest example is he asked Twitter followers or Twitter users if he should step down as CEO. More than 10 million people responded, and guess what? 57.5% said, you got to go, Musko.
Oh, they did?
Yes,
I
they
didn't know
did.
that.
And then somebody said, and so he didn't respond to that. He didn't respond. He said he would abide by the results of this poll.
Yeah, right.
So then somebody tweeted, maybe you should only have people with blue check marks decide these sorts of matters. So Musk tweets, interesting, and then and claims that it's because, well, maybe some of this was because there were fake accounts that skewed the outline. Now, of course, he got rid of all the verification people, so there should be more fake accounts because they're not really curating this the way they didn't do very well at that anyway, but they tried. So now Elon has decided that in the future, when he asks people for their opinion, only people with blue check marks will count. And why do blue check marks matter so much? Not because they've been verified, like my
Because
blue
they have
check
money.
mark, but because people who want a blue check mark, yes, they're paying.
Yeah, that's why Elon's opinion is applicable because he's the second richest man on earth.
Yeah, he paid
That's really it.
$43 billion for his check
And
mark?
I still maintain that he did not mean to buy it. I think the whole 54.
Well, he wanted out of it, right?
Well, yeah, he tried. And by the way, that just kind of disappeared when everyone's like, "Oh, I'll just pay $1 billion and get out of it." And it's not that simple. Or he thought, "Oh, because of the bots, that'll get me out of it." It's like, no, that's not. I feel like he got in there and realized, oh, all this stuff he said he was going to do, there was a reason. It was the way it was, almost like having a board. Now he wants blue check marks to be his board. Is that what it is? And don't get me wrong, there were tons of problems with Twitter before, and guess what? There can be problems with it afterwards. But you can make Twitter be what you want it to be. It's that simple. I just don't like him. I think he's a megalomaniac who thinks he's really funny, but I don't really find him carrying a sink and saying let that sink in to be hilarious.
Does it surprise you at watching Tesla stock crash?
Oh, no, it doesn't surprise me. No.
Isn't that interesting how that's related, though, that people don't want to buy those cars all of a sudden because of his personality?
Oh, well, that's to me, that's dumb. If you like the car, buy the fucking car, right? I'm not going to buy a car based on who the CEO of the company is.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm just asking you if it surprises you.
And you know what?
Because that's
I'm not going to leave Twitter either.
That's the correlation, right?
What? Oh, people don't like him?
No, their stock has tanked since basically he started doing this on Twitter.
There's another underlying issue. He's a very successful, smart. Elon is smart. I'm not going to deny that. Smart, successful guy. But there is this fallacy that because you made a lot of money and you're very successful, that everything you touch will turn the Midas touch. Everything you're going to touch is going to turn to gold. And that's just not true. That's very, very rare. But he's had three successful things, right? So now everything else he's going to do is going to be successful. And I don't buy into that.
Well, he was a wealthy kid to start with, right? So, I mean, he had some dough.
Yeah.
And then was PayPal where he hit
that was
the bonanza?
The big one. Yeah, and SpaceX is a success.
They're launching rockets.
Tesla, to me, though, I've always felt it's overvalued. It still is far overvalued. It doesn't deliver on a lot of things because you know what? It's not that easy to run a car company from scratch.
No, and where's the giga plant that he's been talking about for batteries and all this other stuff? I mean,
no, he's a visionary. I'll give him that. But boy, it really seems like he's more interested in being cool and funny on Twitter. And I just to me, he comes across as an asshole, and I don't really like assholes. But a lot of people love him.
Well,
a lot of people love him because he's an asshole.
It could be that
there's a Trump phenomenon a little bit.
It could be that the people who bought Tesla stock see how he's running Twitter and say, A, oh my God, he's very distracted, or B, if this is the way he runs a company, maybe we want to unload this stock while it's riding pretty high, because if he brings this same management style back to Tesla, we're going to have a whole bunch of problems.
There are just hit another 52-week low. So.
Yeah, there are a couple of reports that show, that the Tesla board has been begging him to get either sell Twitter, or just get off the platform. Own it quietly,
or step aside from Tesla and put someone in charge over there. Which what matters more to him, and that's his choice. That's fine. Whatever. I just don't like him. I think he's just kind of an asshole.
Well, he's at least our Geek of the Week.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's what we're doing.
Hey again! There's an all-night party in room 7609. And you can dance together all night if you've got the time.
It seems like there's so much Christmas music that we hear over and over and over again, and we've been listening to it since Halloween now. But when I saw that the Psychedelic Furs had some new music out, their first new material in 30 years, and that one of the songs was Come All Ye Faithful, I thought, you know what? Christmas is over, but we're going to play a Christmas tune. And then I listened to it. And let me tell you something. If this is a Christmas tune, it's like none other.
Yeah.
So here's the Psychedelic Furs with Come All Ye Faithful.
and shine a light on, and shine a light on, and shine a light on me. Come on, you faithful, you holy rollers, and shine a light on me. I loved you and I lied. I never really loved you. I was laughing at you all the time. When I said I needed you, I lied. I never needed anyone. I laughed until I cried. All you playboys, you saints and sinners, I watch it rain on, I watch it rain on me. Come on, you playboys, you druggy mothers, I watch it rain on me. Said I love you, well I lied. I never really loved you. I was laughing at you all the time. When I said I needed you, I lied. I never needed anyone. I laughed until I cried. You holy rollers, and shine a light on, and shine a light on me. Come on, you playboys, you druggy mothers, and shine a light on me. When I said I loved you and I lied, I never really loved you. I was laughing at you all the time. When I said I needed you, I lied. I never needed anyone. I laughed until I cried.
I like it. I think it's good.
So much for an uplifting Christmas song. When I said I love you, well, I lied. I never really loved you. I was laughing at you all the time.
Oh, that's
when I said I
harsh.
needed you, I lied. I never
I liked it better
needed
when they sang
anyone.
it.
I laughed until I cried.
That's harsh.
I like it better when they sing it.
Wow.
I feel confident
It's not really a cover.
trying to sing Richard Butler because he doesn't really sing. He just kind of
Screams.
He just
Talks.
kind of
Talks
rasps.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, it's not screaming so much as.
He's got a lot of
By
cigarettes.
the way, you
in
look
his
good today,
life.
Mark. Have we met?
Stop
have we
objectifying me.
established
what are you
that?
talking about?
Well, I need to do that every week. You know.
I thought-
Santa thought you
It
looked
could be
good
a
too
load of
last
tripe,
week, and now
depending upon what the person's saying.
That's a load of tripe.
yeah,
Last week I thought he looked a little sloppy, but this week he's
handsome.
no, he's really
I mean, he's always handsome.
he's
but-
upped his game.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot happened over the past week.
Talking about.
yeah.
Just really
It's true.
some self-reflection,
Anyway,
some some commitment to appearing professional. So that is the Psychedelic Furs from Made of Rain, their first album in 30 years. Richard Butler, the lead singer, is an avowed atheist, and some of that comes through quite plainly from the lyrics to Come All Ye Faithful. By the way, the Greatest Hits album by the Psychedelic Furs has the greatest hits album title of all times. It's called Should God Forget. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's good.
Should God forget? Here's all this great music that we made. So, so that you guys don't have to forget. But anyways, Room 7609, that's where we play some great new wave music you never heard before, or some great music from new wave bands you love that had music that people really didn't hear before, but now we're going to take care of that. So please send your suggestions to us at mlsoulofdetroit@gmail.com. We also love to get your feedback and your donations. We have got a big New Year's Eve party to prepare for, so we are not going to get to donations and feedback this week. We will catch up next week, but please keep it coming because we love to hear from you, and we think what you have to say is one of the best parts of the show, and that's only because it means there's less of what we have to say. So
That's always good.
I think we've come to an accord there.
Oh, yeah. The Elrickian Accords.
Not like that first Port Huron
statement.
Yeah, that was the sellout one.
He said that when he was lying in bed next to Julian Moore with a roach clip.
Yeah, he's a good man and thorough.
Yeah.
Good man and thorough. Yeah.
I was an author of the Port Huron.
Yeah. Or was it the second one that was a sellout one? I can't remember, but yeah, the Elrickian Accord is nothing like the Port Huron statement. It was good and thorough, however.
You don't realize what I'm talking about, right?
Big Lebowski.
Yeah, the dude.
Yeah. Now, I think since I made the reference, I thought it was understood.
No, I thought you were talking about the actual Port Huron statement.
There really is a Port Huron statement.
I know.
That's one of the amazing things. I have no idea what it said.
Yeah. No, I know there really is. I thought maybe you were actually referencing that because you're wise and smart and have a good sense of history.
I work on so many levels, it's actually terrifying.
Okay. You scare yourself.
Not so much as if I saw my mother-in-law in the delivery room, but I can be scary.
Well,
frightening.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's been another year, and I hope that we will come back again in 2023, bigger, stronger, faster. No, that's Daft Punk.
Leaner.
Maybe leaner. Yeah. And we appreciate all your support. We hope you're having a great holiday. We'll have a great New Year. If you have some time, check out the other Red Shovel offerings. That would be the Charlie LaDuff No BS News Hour, the Drew and Mike podcast, and of course, we appreciate if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is now branded as Soul of Detroit. Follow us on Twitter at Elric. And please, come back next week. But for now, we ask our friend Cyrus to take us MFing out.
Can you dig that?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Please, sir, inspire us.
Oh, I have so much advice for you. Nobody ever used to listen to me, so I made these motivational quotes you get on the internet. Look!
There's no me in team unless you move the letters. Okay?
A smile is like a hug that your face gives to someone else's eyes.
Right. Do you have any, beginner's advice? Sort of simpler, more kind of obvious ones that make sense?
Follow your dreams.